Emotional maturity and emotional regulation. And this is going to take us right into exercise 17, emotional regulation, reflection, and practice. Emotional regulation is the most important thing that I think we can accomplish in this lifetime, to control our energy. And through control of our energy, and it's an interplay, we become more emotionally mature. We're able to control our energy more. The more we're able to control our energy, the more emotionally mature we are. Now, what I think is key here is a lot of people conflate emotional suppression with emotional control. And we've already talked about this, but it's worth repeating. People who repress their emotions are doing it because of a lack of control, not because they have so much control. It takes no effort to throw all your messy clothes, all your trash into your closet and close the door. That doesn't make you a clean person. It doesn't make you a clean person, right? It's just all in the closet. That's not control, all right? Control is letting your emotions out appropriately when they need to be expressed, not overindulging in them and not suppressing them, just giving them the air that they need to be heard. All right. So if I'm happy, I'm not going to hide my happiness. I'm going to be happy. If I'm sad, I'm not hiding my sadness. I'm going to be sad. At the same time, I'm not going to overindulge in it and allow myself to just spin out for forever. Now, some of us have mental concerns and other nervous system dysregulation issues that make it harder, but that doesn't mean that it's impossible. And if you're the type of person who doesn't want to get that control, I promise you will find every excuse and every reason. And I say this as somebody who has her own issues, mental issues, nervous system issues that have manifested, and who is very well regulated now. Did it take a lot of time and effort? Yeah, it did. But can you get there? Absolutely, if you want to. Again, like I said in the last video, you will take the space that you allow yourself to take. Okay. I knew for me, I did not want to be on medications for the rest of my life. Not that anything's wrong with medications if you need them. I did not want to have to need them for the rest of my life. I did not want to have to deal with the side effects of that to have any peace. I did not want to be dependent on something outside of me. So it meant that I had to take hold and control of my thoughts and my emotions. All right. From a spiritualist perspective, the greatest superpower you will ever acquire is the ability to control your energy. From that place, to have really good and appropriate emotional regulation, from that place, all my other spiritual gifts can expand and grow, and I can have command of them in a way I just don't have when my nervous system is dysregulated. And as a matter of fact, I would stay away from any spiritualist, any healer, any reader who does not have good command of their own energy. If they are just throwing it away carelessly, I would be really careful, because they're probably not going to be able to get into your energy and manipulate it for any positive ends. And this is why you have so many people being harmed by other spiritualists. It's not always that they have bad intentions. A lot of times it's that they have not sorted out their energy. They don't have good control. Some of you will think you have good control because you're really disciplined, because you punish yourself severely, because you're very rigid. Again, that's not control. Hey, if you're not able to relax in yourself, it's because you do not feel safe to relax, because you do not have control of yourself. People with good emotional regulation and good emotional maturity are relaxed within themselves. They are relaxed because they know everything about themselves. They don't lie to themselves about who they are. They're not worried about uncovering some harmful truth that will break their self-image. They know who they are. They know what power they have. They're comfortable in it. They're self-sufficient in their emotions. They don't need the outside world to regulate for them all the time. They know how to regulate for themselves. They know how to validate themselves. If you are someone who did not grow up with parents who validated you or caregivers who validated you, if your environment did not provide that for you, you will become an emotional beggar, always seeking validation from other people because you don't know, you don't feel valid, and you don't know how to validate yourself. You have never acquired those skills. So I need that validation from everyone else. And I want you to remember, as we talked about with the ego, why do I seek that validation in that way? I seek it because if you validate me, then I know that I'm safe. That's part of it. You've affirmed me. I know that I belong. I know that I'm safe, right? If I don't know how to do that for myself, I'm going to become a people pleaser. Of course I'm going to become a people pleaser. Of course I am, right? Because I need you to validate me. So I will give you whatever you need in return. You want to treat me bad, as long as you validate me. I have to put on a costume and mask, as long as you validate me. I have to diminish my needs and wants and prioritize you over me, as long as you validate me. All right. So the first step is to reclaim that power in your life. Because if you are constantly seeking validation, you are so outside of your power that you're harming yourself. Right. So that's number one. Number two, people who suffered a lot of trauma are used to prioritizing the regulation of other people's energy over their own. And what do I mean by that? I know I used to have to regulate my mother's moods. She would come home, she'd be in a horrible mood, and I would have to be scanning all the time. Is she mad? Is she happy? Did I do this right? Is she pleased with me? Will she be in a bad mood when she gets home? Should I clean? Should I cook? What do I need to do? I was always having to adjust because she did not know how to regulate her emotions. She made that my responsibility. But in making it my responsibility, she never taught me how to regulate my own. She taught me how to regulate others. And if you notice, we're a bunch of infants, emotional infants running around trying to regulate other people's energy for them, trying to scan. Are they upset with me? Did I do something bad? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Because I don't want you to be upset with me. I need to regulate your emotions for you, but I have no sense to do it for myself. And over time, it makes you feel resentful of having to always consider other people's emotions while no one considers yours, without understanding that you could have just considered yours in the first place. And you could have just made yourself a priority in the first place. You could have just focused on regulating your own emotions. So if I'm in a situation where the stimuli is hurting me, I'm not going to try to convince that stimuli to be happy. I'm going to get away from that stimuli. I'm regulating. You are causing me pain. I'm moving. Pain requires action, right? Pain requires a change. I need to do something different. I'm in pain. I'm not going to keep my hand in a fire and negotiate with the fire. Please stop burning me. Okay. I'm going to remove myself from the fire as an instinct, right? But when I'm regulating everyone's emotions, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm staying in that fire and I'm trying to calm the fire down instead of me removing myself because I never learned to make myself a priority, in part because I don't feel valid in making myself a priority. Hey, so validation and regulation are very important. All right. If you've always had to regulate for everyone else, that will do a work on your body over time, in addition to that, because your nervous system will always be ramped up. You're always scanning. The other part of this is, if I'm always seeking external validation as a way to regulate my emotions, I feel good when I'm validated, right? Then that means that I have to give a lot of consideration to other people, their thought, their mind, the way that they move, right? Because I always have to be in that space of seeking that validation. So, how do I earn that? Well, what makes this person happy? Well, what makes that person happy? Should I wear this? Will that person like that? What if that person doesn't like it? It's exhausting, and it decenters you in your life so much that you will feel lost, you will feel empty, you will feel abandoned because you abandoned yourself, and you have to abandon yourself to keep meeting other people there. All right. So emotional regulation is a beautiful tool, but it comes from a deep understanding of your emotions. And if you're hiding a lot of your truths from yourself, if you're hiding a lot of your pain, if you're busy playing positive instead of just being authentic, you will never take command of those feelings. So it all starts with laying it all to bear and being really honest, accepting and affirming of yourself and your right to be human. That is to be a mess at times, that is to be angry, that is to be happy, that is to be too loud, that is to be too sensitive, too emotional at times. It is to be whatever you are. Once you accept who you are, then you have much better control over how you show up in this world. And that's the emotional maturity and regulation that we all seek. It is a gift that we all deserve.